And then one of my actual giggles was, I bet you think that was my first kiss. And he's like, wasn't it? And she goes, ha, 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 ha. I was like,
I loved it. That big old just like, ha, 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 ha.
Oh, Sandy, you don't think, ha, 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 ha.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music of
We are welcome to the podcast, y'all. Welcome back to 5, 6, 7, 8, a movie musical podcast, the podcast where we review and recap movie musicals. Neither of us are professionals.
Nope.
These are just our own opinions.
Which apparently we now have to say, since our vibe was not clear enough as two halves of one whole idiot, and someone has decided that we are not credible. Shocking, guys.
No, never pretended to be. But this time, we are doing the 1946 Technicolor Americana musical film, The Harvey Girls, starring Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Angela Lansbury, and Sid Charisse.
Sid Charisse in her first, big role. Good for her.
Yeah. Oh, and John Hodiak.
Yes.
I didn't say that because I could not read his name.
The main
on
love
the poster.
interest that we just kind of glazed right past.
I was reading it off of the poster, and the letters of his last name blurred together. I didn't want to say it wrong. But this was added to our list, our archival list, our list of considerations 2 years ago when I was in Arizona at the Grand Canyon, one of the lodges on the Grand Canyon, and there was a exhibit about the Harvey Girls and about the Harvey restaurant chain. And there was not even a costume from the film, but an actual mannequin, not restored, but what's the word when it's it's the original clothes and they've kept it and it's
the original
preserved
clothes and they've kept it. Yeah, preserved. There we go.
Preserved Harvey Girl uniform, and that's where I first learned about this movie. And I was like, Judy Garland, what?
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the more popular Judy Garland movies. I've heard a lot about it always, but had never
heard anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what the plot was, but had heard
She was 26 when she did this.
Yeah.
Had never heard of it. And we start how all good movie musicals start.
Oh yes.
With a steam engine train going where?
Choo
Who knows?
So this is the 1890s, by the way, late 1800s. True expansion of the West.
There's gold in them hills. Go west and make your fortune.
Yeah.
We take a train across the western plains, and this was never explained, but we did get, after we got all the title credits, so that we then got a rather extended credits of actor names, and there was a character named quote Gold Dust McLean. Mm-hmm. And he is named by name once in this film. So when it happened, I was like, was that Gold Dust?
Gold Dust.
But anyway, a little bit of history. Fred Harvey was a restaurateur, entrepreneur, businessman in this turn of the century Western expansion who really capitalized on the burgeoning towns in the West that for a while had a saloon and nothing else. They had no restaurants because they were truly founded by miners and cattle ranchers. And by establishing his restaurants in every town, the idea was promoting civility and helping pave the way for more people to move west, to form actual towns and cities and not have it be quite so wild, wild west. And they said in the film that Fred Harvey conquered the West with coffee and steak. Yeah. Because there were no restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we start, we get the first song which is Judy Garland on the back of this very fake train. And the song is In the
That background
Valley.
is so fake.
That background is super duper fake, y'all. Also the fact that there's no loud train noises and you can hear her perfectly clear. Movies! So we get the first song, In the Valley, which is just, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's fantasizing about the life that she's gonna have when she gets to wherever she's going. I think in this song she mentions that she's going to get married as well. I
don't remember, but I very much got that she was dreaming of her future that was waiting for her in the West.
Yes.
She goes inside the train. Well, actually, first we cut to the inside of the train and we see a bunch of young women all around the same age, probably mid-20s, well dressed, and one of whom is reading a employment handbook for the Harvey restaurants.
Yeah. So they
and there are two old. There are at least. Yes, and there are at least two older matron-like women on this train as well, who kind of give us our exposition about how what is a Harvey girl? A Harvey girl is more than just a waitress at the Harvey restaurant. They are the symbol and promise of order that is soon to come in these less cultured towns. And Judy comes into the train car from being outside, and she doesn't sit with the girls. She avoids the crowd. She sits down, and she opens up her lunch pail, and she eats lunch alone. Yeah. And I was unclear if she was lonely and thus not a part of the girls, or if she was like put off and irritated by the Harvey girls who are like loud and chatty. But she's got no food and no money. She's got like no food, half a sandwich that she gives to a child.
Yeah, I think that from what I could tell, she was very interested in them, but didn't quite know how to approach, which totally understand. You see a group of raucous looking fun girls and you're there by yourself and you're like, I don't know how to make this work, but they seem like fun. And so she's just kind of sitting along the edges. And she has no food, and the girls kind of notice
the fringes
and sort of, in a very kind way, give her food in a way so that she doesn't feel like it's charity. Like, oh, try this sandwich. Don't you think it tastes like this? Oh, do you want to try it? And like sort of immediately include
you have to try the other half as well.
Just to make sure that it tastes the same kind of deal. So Judy Garland, her character's name is Susan Bradley.
And she doesn't know what the Harvey Girls are, so the Harvey Girls give her their little spiel. And they discover that she's also going to the same town that they are. They're all going to Sand Rock. And they're like, why would you go to Sand Rock? And she goes, well, I'm going to get married there. And we learn that they all like titter. She describes her husband to them, but she doesn't actually know what he looks like. And they're like, what do you mean you don't know what your husband looks like? And she goes, it is revealed she answered a matrimony ad in a paper. She's from Ohio. And was intrigued enough to get on the train
and also
to go to Sand Rock.
Many letters that were very poetic and romantic. And through these letters, she's like, oh my goodness, I'll make this jump. They're all kind of bond a bit over her courage to commit to something like this, of like taking this big leap.
She says like, well, I thought Ohio was old fashioned. That's why I'm going west. I want something different.
Yeah, something new.
Yeah. And she shows them her wedding dress. She's like, do you want to see? And they're like, yes! Just then the train pulls into Sand Rock. We get some establishing shots of the town. It is a dusty, like 2-store town.
Oh yeah, saloon.
And that's not true. A saloon is the main fixture point in the town. The saloon is called the Alhambra.
I'm gonna be honest, I never wrote down the name of the saloon. I just called it Capital Saloon.
I called it the Alhambra. 2 men pull up on horses, not cars, horses, to see a Fred Harvey restaurant sign going up at the building across the street.
And he's super shitty about it.
Yeah, this man who approaches the other man who is hanging up the sign, his name is Judge. He's dressed in all black. And he says, your sign's probably going to get stolen. And the guy's like, I hope not. And he's like, well, we'll see. And then this Judge character goes into the saloon, into the Alhambra, looking for the boss.
Yes.
And we go into the saloon, and surprise, Angela Lansbury is there.
Angela, what are you doing here? And it's not just a saloon, it's also a gambling hall. So not only is there alcohol, but there's like betting tables, and it feels very much a bit like a brothel, gambling hall, bar. So just like all manner of licentious behavior.
They never explicitly say it's a brothel.
No, they don't. But they give the vibes.
They give the vibes in that Angela Lansbury is there singing, but she is clearly a showgirl.
Yes.
They do put on shows
They're a
later.
dance
and
hall.
all the other women walking around are in rather skimpy-ish numbers for the times, in that they show their ankles.
But not as skimpy or obvious as the prostitute dance battle in Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Those were full,
Yeah.
proper ladies of the night.
Indeed. This has more dance hall energy of like Sweet Charity, where you're just like, oh, we dance with men, and then some of us might do something extra, but like it's never like implicit.
There's a lot of lonely men in this western town.
Yeah.
But Angela Lansbury is sitting by the piano and she's singing a ballad, like a sweet, soft ballad called Wait and See. And Angela Lansbury is being dubbed.
I fucking know, and I'm mad about it to this day.
I said, how dare you?
And I say
How
to
dare
this day
you?
as if I didn't watch this movie today.
I will continue to
continue
be
to be
floored by
mad.
the audacity to dub Angela
Angela
Lansbury.
Lansbury.
But we meet the boss of the saloon, whose name is Trent.
Ned Trent.
Ned Trent. I just called him Trent,
Trent
the whole time.
yeah.
And he is watching and appreciative of Angela
and
Lansbury's
they're, like,
character,
making
whose name is M.
Direct eye contact.
Direct
Like she's
eye
just
contact.
singing
direct
to him.
Yeah, and he's kind of enamored by her, listening to her sing. He claps when she's done.
Yeah.
And then Judge immediately like kind of takes him by the arm, leads him over to the bar. He's like, "What are you going to do about the Harvey restaurant?" And Trent is like, "What do you
mean?
What do you mean? Like business is good. Any business
we're
is good
fine."
business." And Judge is like, "No, because if the Harvey restaurant is successful, that's going to cut down your business. People are going to go there instead of here. Your business is going to suffer, which means the cut I take out of the saloon is going to suffer. What are you going to do about it?" And
Right.
Ned Trent is like,
He's not worried.
Your cart before the horse, saying, "Yeah, I'm not worried about
And
this."
also he does bring out like another town that had a Harvey restaurant come. They say that the restaurant is like a sign of civilization coming, and like whenever all the girls arrived, like suddenly all of the men in the town got married. They weren't going out drinking anymore. The church got back into that town. So what the judge is worried about is that this sort of town, which is pretty much all just dudes, just kind of doing whatever the fuck they want, is going to get a bit of civilization.
And the saloon is thus capitalizing on
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Trent isn't really worried.
Yes.
He's like, whatever. We'll make it work. It'll be fine.
Just then, a tall, scruffy cowhand, I don't know what to call him,
Cowboy.
comes into the saloon. Cowboy, we'll call him a cowboy, and goes up to Trent, be like, "Where's Trent?" And he thanks him. He thanks him, being like, "I couldn't thank you more because you made this possible. My wife is arriving on the train today because you wrote those letters for me." And then it is revealed that this is, if we didn't say Judy Garland's character name before, her name is Susan.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Susan's betrothed is this man, this cowboy named Heartsey. And it is revealed that Trent was the one who actually wrote the letters and corresponded with Susan.
Yes. And just then the train arrives. Well, and Trent does warn him. He's like, "Oh, you should like run away because you can't like know what a person is like through a letter. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Look at what we've
They
just
might
done. What if she's like 200 pounds?" And he's like, "That's fine."
Yeah. Is that great? Love it.
Heartsey is like,
but yes.
a like big ol' himbo, sweetheart energy.
Big ol' himbo. And I feel like, and this is going to be a bit of a gripe right now, but I feel like Heartsey could have played a bigger role in other people's character development, and he was underutilized.
I think so too. I think that he could have had
Justice for Heartsey.
Justice for Heartsey, especially given who he is interested in later on. I feel like that is a plotline that could have been way more fun and interesting. Anyway, so we'll get to that. So just then the train arrives, and we get the most famous song from this movie, which is on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe, which is such a fun song.
On the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. This song was like the blockbuster, not blockbuster, but like the Billboard charts hit of this film. They actually recorded it and released it before the film even came out, which was partly what contributed to not only the song's success, but the film's success. Yeah. However, they must have done like a radio edit for it. Because there's a lot of like...
Anna, it's so long.
It's so long, and there's...
It's so long.
And there's a lot of like interstitial, like little, like kind of talk, like Rex Harrison talk singing. So they must have done a radio edit for the release.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like a 7-minute song. But it is the arrival. The song is about the arrival of this train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and the name of the railroad is the ATSFRR, Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe.
So that's
Railroad.
it's the railroad is that.
Yeah.
And this is a big ensemble song. We see all the Harvey girls get off the train, and we get little interstitial moments about them, of like where they came from and why they came to Sandrock, why they became Harvey Girls.
Yeah.
The men are super grateful to Mr. Harvey for opening up this restaurant.
Like, a bit overwhelmed and like kind of look like they're like trying to spruce up a bit.
Yeah, they probably haven't seen like
This many,
a new person in a really long time.
People in a
I
really long time.
loved. Okay, so we had a couple girls being like, "I'm from Kansas, and this is why I'm here. I'm from Illinois, Michigan, and this is why I'm here." And then there was my favorite person who was
Paris?
like, "I was born in Paris." Yes, I was born in Paris. I was raised in Paris. I was married in Paris. I was almost killed in Paris, but now I'm here to make my fortune. And all the girls are like, "Yeah, Paris, like where's
Illinois?"
Illinois.
Yeah.
But the girl makes it seem like she was from Paris, France.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, you're from Paris, Illinois.
It's like saying I'm from Athens, Georgia. It's like, all right, let's take a break.
But Susan gets off the train as well and is so excited to be here. Again, she was singing at the top of the film, just like she's so excited for her future
this next
and
step.
all the possibilities. The train leaves. Everyone waves goodbye. The Harvey girls who got off the train are introduced to the manager of the Harvey house by the matron of the Harvey house. Mm-hmm. And then we get Heartsy.
Heartsy
who
comes
thinks
up and sees
Heartsy doesn't know what his bride looks like.
No, but he sees the matron, the madam, the one who runs all of the Harvey
Yeah.
girls, and is just like, that must be her. She is glamorous and beautiful, and full on just
My bride.
straight up kisses her on the mouth, and she beats him with her bag. It's delightful.
Her handbag. It's awesome. And he's just like, well, why?
But
Aren't you? Let me introduce myself. And she's like, no, I'm not that girl. That's Susan Bradley. And she points to Susan in the crowd.
No one has ever looked more crestfallen looking at Judy Garland. Like,
and she's crestfallen as well.
Yeah, neither
She's
of them
like,
are
this is not
super
what I
thrilled.
envisioned.
And then
the Harvey girls walk to the restaurant, but not before having an intense eye-staring contest with all the showgirls
dance
from the
hall
saloon.
girls, hell yeah. And so they're also kind of ushered in, and then we get, honestly, I think this scene might be either my giggle or my moment of joy. It's just these two people who are both very kind people, neither of whom are interested in marrying each other, both trying to find a way to get out of this gracefully. And so each of them start extolling their own bad, like, virtues, where it's just like,
oh, I'm a terrible cook.
Oh, I'm a terrible cook. And he's like, it's fine. We just throw things on a fire. It's like, oh, I'm a horrible housekeeper. That's fine. We just sleep outside. And then he's like, oh, but like, I drink and I gamble and I don't want you to say no, but won't you please say no? And so she's like, oh, if it'll make you happy, I'll say no to you.
I'll be honored to say no. And then he admits, you know what? I didn't even write the letters to you. She goes, well, who the fuck wrote me those letters then? He goes, it was Ned Trent.
Yeah.
She was like, where can I find Ned?
This
Ned?
fucker.
And Heartsy says, Trent thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
To write these letters.
To be a
so she
jerk.
goes, fuck that guy. Where can I find him? Heartsy tells her in the saloon. And she fully goes into the saloon to accost this man that she's
absolutely.
never met before.
So she goes in, she's like, where is he? And they're like, the dude without a hat. The only person without a hat in this room.
And here's the thing. It is a packed saloon, all 5'0" of Judy Garland is like storming around in her like little traveling dress. She is surrounded by gambling men, rough cowboys,
Gamblers.
and showgirls who look down on her. Gamblers.
And
Do we
also,
have any
how tall is
gangsters?
Angela? Oh, I'll talk about it. We have swindler, gangster, and goon, and I want to know who our waiter is because I know there's one in there. But how tall
Is Angela Lansbury?
Angela, because she was like quite taller than her.
Oh my god, Judy Garland was 4'11".
Oh my god,
I didn't realize she was that tiny.
Angela Lansbury was 5'8", so that makes sense. So she has like
They're almost a foot apart.
9 inches on her, which tracks.
She has so many fantastic headdresses too.
Honestly, and like her hair, it adds at least 2 inches, and she normally had hats.
At least.
Wild.
Yeah.
So this makes sense. Because I was very confused about their height difference.
No, Judy Garland was tiny. But Susan goes into the saloon, like fights her way through the crowd to accost this man she's never met, and Em just watches this, like a bit amused but also confused.
Em is my favorite character in this movie. Like, she's a bad person, but she's interesting.
She's interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew I didn't know she was going to be redeemed or not.
Yeah, exactly.
But Susan ultimately gets Trent's attention. Once she actually gets face to face with him, she loses her nerve a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, like, finds it again.
But
she
also,
calls him
so does he.
and she doesn't.
He's a bit of a dick until he looks at her and he's like, like a bit of just like lost his train of thought looking at her.
Yeah. She does give him a piece of her mind. I don't remember if she even explicitly says you're an asshole for writing those letters.
No,
and,
she just says that you're a dick and
you're a yellow dog.
And so she runs out and he goes out after her being like, she says the line, I don't know if you're a thief or a murderer, but I know what you are. And I yelled, a swindler. And she didn't say that. And I was very sad.
Damn it.
So Trent is very much our swindler.
I don't know about that.
Oh, 100%.
You can tell me why later, but Trent follows her out of the saloon and he's like, look, all right, you've made me feel bad. You have a point. Here's money to go back to Ohio. Yeah. And she says, fuck that. That's even more insulting. She vows to run him and his like gambling saloon frequenting type out of this town, and she marches across the street and she becomes a Harvey girl.
Hell yeah. And then we get a training sequence of all of the Harvey girls practicing, and it's called The Train Must Be Fed. It's like you drop things off on the left, you pick things up on the right. You always make sure.
And regardless of
like
if the house is on fire, the train that comes into town must be fed.
Correct. So we get that training sequence, and then the first train comes in after they open, and they're trying to like lure the guys into the Harvey restaurant, and it's like starting to work. There's definitely some people there, but it's not like packed, and the saloon is definitely still packed.
Yes.
The Alejandra? What is it?
Alhambra.
Right. So
very different.
So. The saloon, though, we cut to the saloon, and Em and the bunch of the dance hall girls are doing like this can feather boa dance kind of thing, which is drawing this huge like
to a
cheering,
hoot and hollering crowd.
Yeah. And she finishes her dance and goes over.
The song is called "Oh, You Kid."
And she goes over to Trent. Well, is this when she meets Gold Dust?
This is Gold Dust.
Yes.
This is Gold Dust.
So first, she goes over and there's a dude at the bar who obviously is like really into her, but she's like kind of stringing him along a bit, called Gold Dust. Yeah. And
he's a minor.
He's a minor in like the town over. So, but she ends up leaving him pretty quickly and going over to Trent because he's like about to walk out the door. And he says that he's going to go and check out the competition. And she has like a comment about like the competition for the saloon or the competition for me. So she is very clearly forward and upfront about how she is into Trent, and he isn't really is
non-committal.
Yeah, he's non-committal. So he goes over to the Harvey house.
Oh, and she also, but before he goes, she goes, well, if you're gonna go, why? She brings up the fact that when he's not in the saloon, he can often be found like looking out over the valley by himself, kind of away from town. And she goes like, why do you do that? Like, what do you have any, like, are there, like, what's buried out there?
Yeah.
And he goes, nothing. It's just nice to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta be
Cut to the Harvey house. People. Yeah. Cut to the Harvey house. People did go to the Harvey house. It's pretty busy. Susan ends up serving Trent. She does a double take when she realizes whose table she's at, and he orders a steak. And he's got this like knowing smile, and he orders it rare. And Susan makes a comment that, well, we're famous for our steak. And they do have like a backwards glance at each other before Susan goes into the kitchen, and she says like one sirloin steak, and the madam and all the other Harvey girls are in the kitchen being like, we have a problem.
All of our meat is gone.
All of the meat is gone. There's no steaks, there's no sausages, like everything
chops,
is
cold
gone.
dill.
And they're like, how's it? And the manager of the
missing.
Harvey house is gone too. He's my waiter. That man is just trying to keep this business alive.
Yep, he's doing his goddamn best, and man, does musical theater get in his way.
Man.
Okay, and then we get the
then
silliest
Susan goes off
sequence.
the rails.
She goes bananas, and I couldn't. I was so flummoxed by this whole sequence that I'm like, am I having a good time, or is this the dumbest thing I've ever seen? And I couldn't tell you.
I think I enjoyed it, but in hindsight, it's dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
So she goes...
And I enjoyed it because I didn't know what was going to happen.
No.
I don't know if I would enjoy it as much now that I know what's going to happen.
Right. So Susan goes to, like, the coat check room and grabs, like, all of the gun holsters are there for the cowboys or whatever.
Two pistols.
And grabs 2 bang-bang shooties and goes out the door.
2 shoot-em-ups.
And honestly... looks so drops them at one point, like, and has to pick them back up again. Doesn't quite know how to hold them. And like...
I'm like, you were holding them fine before.
Yeah, what happened?
Why have you forgotten how to use your hands?
Yeah. So she goes into the saloon and no one pays her any attention at first. Like, she goes in like...
she's 4'11".
Stick 'em up!
Stick 'em up!
Everyone, no one try and stop me! And so she's like trying to move her way through until she runs into Hartsley. Or Hartsey.
Is that Hartsey?
That's
I
Hartsey.
couldn't tell if that
it's
was or
so
not.
funny that whole time. And then later on, whenever she drops it and he hands it back to her, that's Hartsey. He's a doll. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Hartsey
That's why he plays
sees
along.
her with like these 2 guns, like frantic, and he's like, "Oh, everyone, put your hands up! Like, everyone, pay attention."
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if it was like condescending or not.
I think that.
But now that I know it's
trying to
Hartsey, I
help.
don't think it is.
I don't think
he was
so.
trying to help. Okay.
And so,
but you understand why? Because
100%.
I wasn't sure if it was him, so I didn't know.
yeah,
okay,
because
that
if
makes
it was
that makes my
anyone
heart
else,
sing.
it would be super condescending. But because it's Hartsey,
Like, you're being a dick.
and they had like that interaction that was very sweet. It's different. So he sort of parts the crowd for her so that she can get to the bar, and she's like, "Tell me where. I don't want to make any trouble, but if you don't tell me where our meat is, like, we got hungry customers, I'm gonna shoot." And the bartender's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And so she cocks a pistol, closes her eyes, and shoots, and ends up shooting the bottle out of his hand. And he is the whole
Great
bar.
shot.
It's a great shot. The whole bar is just like, whoa,
Hits the ground.
hits the ground on their knees, like, "Hey, we're let's all calm down. I didn't realize you'd be actively shooting." And so
Yeah.
and so the bartender is like, "It's in the back. This is done. You just
We don't
shot
want
at
no
me
trouble."
with your eyes closed. I don't need that."
Yeah.
And so she
Fuck that
goes
noise.
into the back and finds all of the steaks, all of the lamb chops and sausages, and starts saying, "Okay, everyone, we
And
gotta-"
the manager.
And the manager,
tied
up with like a rope in his mouth and to a chair. So she like unties him and says, "All right, everyone, we got to get this over." And like Hartsey kind of like punches a bunch of guys, and they all go and grab the thing and like start leading it
she
out.
like
And
takes them back at gunpoint.
and she like has the gun at Hartsey's back, but accidentally drops one, and so he like picks it up and gives it back to her, and he's like, "Oh, here you go," and then puts his hands back up. Like, honestly, what a sweetheart. And so
loved him playing along.
I know, and then she goes all the way back out and gets back to the Harvey restaurant, and then drops a fully just like raw steak in front of Trent. Like,
Raw
"There's
steak.
your raw steak."
That's what there's the rare
There's
steak
the
you
rare
ordered. And
steak
he
you
is
ordered.
bamboozled
But
because
also
he thought he was going to
deeply
win.
charmed.
Deeply charmed. Ugh,
What
just charmed by the concept of musical
wild
theater.
sequence.
I think that's my favorite scene.
It's so crazy town.
Like that's my moment of joy. Is that fucking wild scene.
Oh my god.
And you know what's funny? This entire time, I'm like, I wonder if they tried to. I mean, you might have this answer, but did they ever try to do a stage production of this?
Not that I found.
I feel like it would translate well.
I could see that.
They only you don't even really need horses.
Nah.
There's no like big action sequences.
No, what you need is the Harvey house, you need the saloon, and
The
you
train.
need the center of the town. You really only need those 3 locations.
and the bluff that they look out on.
Yeah, but that can be done without
That can be a
much.
bare stage.
That could be a
yeah.
bare stage, like in
Yeah.
front of the curtain kind of deal if you really wanted to. Yeah, you really only need those particular sets. Everything else that we have in like different
Oh,
locations.
you do need a horse. You do need a horse for the shoeing scene.
Oh, but honestly, that whole shoeing scene could probably be cut.
Yeah, well, then you lose your B plot.
What
I'm
B
sorry, your
plot?
C, D, E, F plot.
Yeah.
I thought it was going somewhere. That's why I said
I
B
thought
plot.
it was
doesn't.
too, and it
All right.
doesn't. Anyway, that's why I'm like, it could be cut. We'll get there. I didn't talk about it much because it could
Yeah.
be cut.
All right. Cut to later that evening
Yes.
at the Harvey house. So the Harvey house is also where the girls live. They live upstairs above the restaurant.
Yes.
And they have a balcony upstairs. And one of the Harvey girls, who's named Deborah, Sid Charisse,
Yes.
is listening to a man sing to a piano. And the song that we hear, it's called Wait and See.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Susan and a third Harvey girl named Alma come out onto the balcony being like, ooh, Deborah's got a crush on the boy who's singing.
Yeah. And these three girls kind of bond, and they sing the song It's a Great Big World. They each give a bit more of their backstory, talking about like what they imagined traveling would be like, what their hometown was like, why they decided to leave personally.
Is that what you got from this song? Because I got like in terms of like I couldn't tell you what the song was fucking about. I hated this song.
yeah.
I thought it was pointless.
No, it was too long. It was absolutely
the
too
lyrics.
long.
The lyrics didn't. I'm glad you got something out of those lyrics because I could not tell for the life of me what the point of them were.
'Cause, like-
other than it's a big wide world and I'm scared but hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the main point of it. But we get, like, mini backstories.
I guess we got their
from, like,
backstory.
oh, I wanted to be
Yeah.
a dancer, but my parents didn't approve. And, like,
Yeah, I
oh,
guess
like,
so, you're
I
right.
grew up in a small, dusty town, but I wanted to, like, see more of the world. And that's pretty much all we get. But it's a bonding
I think
song.
what I hated the most was the choreography.
Yeah, the choreography wasn't super fun.
It felt really dumb and forced, but
Yep.
the song ends as the girls go into their beds, their three little twin beds next to each other, like get tucked in, and the matron comes through and is just about to turn out the gas lamp hanging from the ceiling when explosion.
Pew, pew.
Someone from outside shoots the gas lamp and it explodes.
Yeah.
It doesn't start a fire or anything, but
No,
all the
but
girls
it's shot
shriek
into
and
their
panic.
bedroom. Very alarming.
Yeah, and there's like glass everywhere.
And one of the girls decides to leave. She's like, I'm not gonna stay here if this town is gonna fire guns at us. That's stupid. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stay here. And she fully packs
I'm
up
not
and
gonna
leaves.
risk my life
And
for this, yeah.
A few of the other girls decide to follow her. So, like 4 girls end up
or
leaving.
think about following her.
Yeah.
And the two matrons kind of look at each other like, fuck, we can't lose
Yeah.
that many more girls.
Exactly.
We need girls. Cut to the next day. Judge is standing outside the saloon and a priest rolls up on
Reverend,
horseback. The
yeah.
Reverend. They've met before, and Judge is trying to get the Reverend to remember, like, hey, we made a deal. We don't want you to open up a church in this town.
Yeah.
So why don't you carry on like you were doing? And the Reverend says, well, you know what? I don't listen to you.
Yeah.
I think this town needs a church.
Yeah.
And then Trent comes out onto the porch as well and kind of calls Judge out for, I know what you did. I know you shot that bullet. I know you scared those girls. And Judge is like, I don't know what you're talking about. But Trent point blank tells the Reverend, go ahead. You have like,
Go
you
set up
should
your church."
reopen the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he tells Judge to go across the street
And
and apologize to the girls. Here's the thing. I think Trent is not the mayor of this town, but because he runs a saloon and that is the largest business in town,
Absolutely.
he definitely carries the most influence.
Absolutely. So the judge goes over and ends up seeing, I think it's Alma and Susan, and is just like,
It's definitely Susan.
I don't know if it's Alma or Deborah,
I know.
but
I think I just said girls.
goes over and ends up like saying, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that craziness last night, and ends up telling them that it was Trent who was the one who organized the shot,
Trent
or like
yeah.
fired the shot himself, and that Trent didn't want the Reverend to come back into town, that he's trying to run them out of town. Basically just big old reversal. and he leaves, and the girls are like, oh, the judge, such a nice man. And Susan is just like, well, I'm gonna go fucking give Trent a piece of my goddamn mind.
Give Trent a piece of my mind. Yeah.
And so she runs over to the saloon, and Trent isn't there, but Em is there.
Em is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Em's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
And Susan's like, I'm looking for Trent. And Em's like, well, what do you want with him? And Em, attempting to dissuade Susan, actually admits that Trent is the one who wants the church reopened. So Susan realizes that she's been lied to. And the way that Em defends Trent, Susan's like, oh, you're in love with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Em's like, listen up, Buttercup. This is not Ohio.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter because Trent does not care about me or he does not care about you.
Yes. All of this that he's been doing, it has nothing to do with you, so get the stars out of your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
And, but in this conversation also, Em ends up mentioning Trent going out to the valley by himself all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
To go have his boy thoughts.
Yeah. Boy thoughts. So, cut to
our B plot.
Whole bit with the blacksmith. Okay.
Played by
Do you want to talk about it? Because I didn't talk about it. It is Roy Bolger.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Okay, there's a character we haven't talked about. So we have Judge, who is our gangster.
Yes.
And we have his... Did you consider the guy dressed in all black his goon?
Both types of goons were present in both the guy in all black and in Roy Bolger's character.
Yes. Okay.
So there's the two styles of goons, and they were both there.
Yeah, there's the threatening goon, and then there's just like the foppish goon.
Yeah.
So the goonish goon. So there's a character named Marty who is essentially, if the judge is the brains, Marty is the muscle of town. He's dressed in all black. He has very few lines, but he goes to visit this character named Chris Mall, who came on the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe train with all the girls, and he has opened up a blacksmith shop in town. He literally crosses out the name of the previous blacksmith and just writes his name underneath it.
He's like, mine
and
now.
Marty comes up to Mall being like, hey, are you the new blacksmith? And he's like, yes, I am. Mall is like a toothpick you could blow over by batting your eyelashes. He is incredibly foppish.
Yes.
And he's like, cool, I need my horse rehoofed. Mall's like, okay, yeah, sure. And Marty intimidates Maul by shooting the last horseshoe off the hook, and then implies
murder.
The next that could be you if you don't. I love this horse. This horse is like my brother. You better take care of it.
Yeah.
Marty leaves. Just then Alma walks up and she's like, "You look green in the gills. What's up?" And Maul tells her, hey, that guy just freaked me out. And Alma goes, oh, yeah, well, he shot the last blacksmith, so you better do a good job.
Yeah.
And Maul's like,
oh,
what?
God.
She's like, well, it's only hypothetical, but 3 people did see him shoot him, but they didn't see the bullet leave the gun, so it's still up for speculation. And Maul's like, I'm gonna have a confession to make. I'm terrified of horses.
Yeah.
I don't know how to shoe a horse. And Alma explains to him, it's like, oh, you gotta take it off, you gotta use a hot iron, you gotta drill 6 nails, and Maul fully faints at the description of it, so Alma goes, I gotta do fucking everything myself. And then we get the song, The Wild Wild West, where we love to see a strong, independent female character.
Yes. Female blacksmith.
And this woman fully just does blacksmithing things while singing this song, Wild Wild West. She sings about how she's not impressed with the men in the town. This woman is metal smithing while she is singing. She is banging hot irons. There is steam coming up. There is a gag where she fully picks up a red hot horseshoe with her bare hands.
Yeah.
She couldn't have.
No.
But does the song move the plot along?
No.
Absolutely not. Was it fun?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it.
Does it ever get referenced again in any way, shape, or form within this plot?
No, except, did they get married at the end? Was that a double wedding?
No, it's Deborah and the pianist.
Ha! I really thought we were going to get a triple wedding. All right, anyway, cut to
They could have set
Susan
it up. Instead,
walking.
she's just like, I'm not married, I just run my own business.
Yeah.
Bless.
You know what? She's the real winner.
Truly.
But cut to Susan walking through the desert looking for Trent.
Yeah.
And she first finds the valley lookout. She goes, yeah, this is really pretty.
Yeah.
And then she finds him. She accidentally falls right on top of him. And she's really nervous, chatty at him. And he's like, what is this?
What is this? But they flirt a whole bunch. And they talk about the letters that he sent. And he talks about, do you think that a girl would ever fall for him, and she's like, well,
Like, if I wrote a
obviously,
letter
if you
as
just
myself.
like wrote the letters that you wrote, obviously I came out west, so I don't see why you would have a problem with that. And he goes to leave and is like, oh, you shouldn't stay here, it's dangerous. And she like, you could fall off the cliff. And she's like, well, there's cliffs in Ohio. It's like, there's coyotes, there's snakes. Well, we got snakes in Ohio. And then he ends up just like full on grabbing her 50s mouth mash.
Big ol' kiss.
Yeah.
Loved it. She swoons
She
afterwards.
does
Like,
a
you don't have to kiss us like that in
full
Ohio,
swoon.
do you?
And then one of my actual giggles was,
oh my God.
I bet you think that was my first kiss. And he's like, wasn't it? And she goes, ha 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 ha. I was like,
I loved it. That big old just like, ha 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 ha.
oh, Sandy.
The
you don't
fakest
think,
casual
ha,
laugh.
ha, ha.
Ha ha ha.
The biggest, fakest casual laugh. Yeah. Yeah. Now I want to watch Jurassic Park again.
No, twist my arm. Okay. So we've had that happen.
So that happens.
They then ride. Listen, I am mid-romance novel. So when they ride back into town together and he gets out of the carriage and he lifts her by the waist
all
down to the
4 foot
ground and
nothing of
keeps
her.
holding her waist there. But then he like keeps his hands on her waist as they like look at each other and flirt. I'm just like, oh, my pearls. But then they are interrupted by screams.
That's when the screaming
from
began.
The second floor.
So they run into the dormitory of the Harvey house, and they find a girl trapped in a closet with a rattlesnake.
It's Deborah.
It was a Deborah. I thought it was just a
Deborah.
random one. But Trent pews it, kills it with his gun, and
Murders it dead.
And she runs out, and she was like, I was
More
just
girls,
going in
yeah.
to like grab my slippers, and then there's like the
Yeah,
question
because
of,
that's
like,
the whole thing. She's
how
the
did he
dancer
even-
with the red slippers.
Yeah. She's like, how did he even get in here? We haven't had this issue before. And
More girls threaten to leave.
yep, absolutely. And Susan kind of yells at Trent. She's like, yeah, I mean, you killed like the snake, but you're not doing anything to stop these guys from actually putting the snake in here to begin with.
Because they're your customers.
Yeah, because they're your customers. And so he immediately leaves and goes to the saloon and tells the judge, don't do that again or we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, knock it off. If anything else happens to the Harvey girls, you'll answer to me.
Yeah.
And he storms off, and M watches him go.
Yeah. M is so interesting. Ugh.
I know. Cut to later that same day, or potentially the next day.
Yeah.
Deborah and Susan are doing laundry duty, and when Susan goes inside, Deborah sneaks off across the street. It's the middle of the day, so the saloon isn't open, or isn't like busy. It might not even be open to the public.
Yeah.
But she goes into the saloon, and the
key
piano
is-
player that she was
Yeah.
listening to the other day is there. He's playing the same song again, but she gets to go up to him, and when he finishes, she introduces herself and she says, that song is beautiful. I heard it the other night.
Yeah.
And he is equally taken with her.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, do you want to hear
The whole song.
do you want to the full song? And he sings it to her.
And it's a wait and see. It's
And
the
she
same
doesn't
song that...
she like hums along. Yeah, it's a wait and see. And the showgirls come out of their rooms and kind of watch this scene below.
And Deborah
And
dances
Deborah dances for him because
Yeah.
that was the backstory of the song that I hated, is
Yeah.
that she wanted to be a dancer, but her parents didn't think it was a reputable career.
Yeah.
And it's Sid Charisse. How could
mean,
it not
oh
be
my
beautiful
God.
dancing?
Yeah.
And
And
then Susan
comes in
sneaks in,
at the last
interrupts
verse.
the duet, fully could have had a kiss.
Could have had a kiss. But their first kiss is excellent. And we'll get there.
Yes, but we get the pianist's name. His name is Terry O'Hara. He gives Susan his card, and he's just... I think Susan comes on kind of harsh to him, being like, this is my friend, and you can't, like, swindle
he's
her
like,
like you swindle other girls. He goes like, oh, no,
I'm fully honorable.
Yeah.
I got intentions
I will be
and
proper.
they're honorable.
And it's very, very cute.
Yes.
But Susan still hurries Deborah out of there.
And
Actually, no, sorry. She doesn't hurry her out of there because Susan tries to get Deborah to leave with her, and then M comes down the stairs being like, Susan, I want to talk to you. And Deborah's like, should I stay? And Susan's like, no, go ahead. And M and all the other showgirls kind of surround Susan.
Absolutely.
And they say, hey, we heard that the Harvey girls are throwing a party tonight. We don't want competition for our customers tonight.
Yeah.
And Susan's like, well, I think we're going to have very different
think we got
clientele. I don't think you have to
different-
worry about it.
We don't need to worry about
like,
each other.
are you really...
We'll mind our
Yeah,
business, you mind yours.
But, and like, are you really intimidated by little us? And they gang up on Susan. They start to beat the shit out of her.
Once they start surrounding her, Deborah, like, once they fully encase her in this like thing of tall women around 4'11", Judy Garland. Deborah sees this and runs out to go and get the rest of the Harvey girls. And so right whenever it starts to get physical and like
and
I think
first punches are thrown,
the violence, that's right when all of the other Harvey girls come running in, and then we get a true
brawl.
fucking saloon knockdown dragon brawl, and I was
and it's all
fucking
women
thrilled. It was all women, and it's spectacular. It's so fun. Oh my god. There's a woman on top of like a swinging chandelier at one point. They're like rolling and diving over tables, and like they're using like leg chairs and like throwing fabric over each other. It's a wild fight. It is delightful. It's a goddamn blast.
Similar to the Carmen Brown, was that the name of the film?
Carmen Jones.
The factory fight. Carmen Jones.
Yeah.
Similar to the Carmen Jones factory fight, except this is a lot more group energy, whereas that was two girls fighting and everyone cheering. But God bless these stunt doubles. There's a lot of flopping. There's a lot of limbs in the air. Chairs are thrown. Yeah. There's the one of the employees is just like hiding behind the bar trying to fucking escape.
Truly.
But Deborah and the pianist Terry hide under a table to like escape the chaos.
And they kiss under the table during the fight. It's the best.
It's really, really cute.
Yeah.
Cut from this brawl to the party tonight. Honestly, I thought the Harvey girls were going to be at this party with just like black eyes.
I wanted
everyone
it
was
so bad. I
really
wanted everyone, all of the women to be like in these beautiful, gorgeous dresses, hair perfectly done, and just like split lip, black eye, like crooked nose. Like I just wanted some evidence.
I really wanted
that the fight had happened.
All right, when we stage this as a Broadway production, that is a change that I make. But cut to the party tonight. All the Harvey girls are dressed up in their finery. Yeah. Everyone is dressed up. Some of the men of the town are there. Heartsy is there, and he's still sweet on the old matron.
Yep.
But the girls are dancing around, and then suddenly Judge and Trent show up, and they bought tickets. They are allowed to be there. And Susan sees them. Susan is fully wearing her wedding dress.
Yeah, is that yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I wanted to
that's
make
gotta
sure.
be her wedding dress. Yeah.
So, and then we get a massive dance sequence. We get a whole tap break for our goon, Roy Bolger.
Yeah, Roy. Oh, so here's the thing. I started talking about how Marty was like the bodyguard goon. What I didn't finish that thought, which is Roy Bolger plays Maul, who is our blacksmith, who is like our goonish goon, our fop, just like very big scarecrow energy.
Well, it's funny you say scarecrow energy.
Wait, was he the scarecrow?
He was the scarecrow.
Oh, funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's who I go into. He's who I did a little bit of a dive on.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. That tracks. But he's tap dancing and it looks like he can't stop. It's like he lands in Marty's arms. It's amazing.
Yeah. Honestly, I wanted him and Marty to be together more than anything else. That is also a
Broadway
change.
production that we will stage.
Marty and
they
Ball
will end up together.
get together and open a blacksmith shop together.
Love that. Oh, I'd love that. All
or
right,
they
work
for Alma in the blacksmith shop. So anyway, we get this big tap break. We get a big waltz dance. Susan dances with, I keep calling him Maul. That's his name?
Maul, yeah. M-A-U-L-E.
Yeah. So Susan dances with Maul, and then Maul and the Madam have a dance together, which is very, very silly. And then we get...
Wait, we didn't say... So the song... That's after the waltz is taught.
Oh, yes. So the song... This whole sequence is like the song Swing Your Partner Round and Round.
Which is the Madam teaching the crowd how to waltz.
Yes.
And they're like, it is the latest dance trend. And like, that's fully been around for at least 60 years.
Yeah.
That's not... But then... I'm not saying we get a prostitute dance battle, but
honestly, what this had for me was Dance at the Gym energy of just like the Jets and the Sharks come in and then we get two people dancing from each of the teams and like it's so the dance girls come in.
we love a dance battle. We like musical theater. Do you know that?
Have you noticed? So the girls come in and Susan goes to take all of their tickets and they try.
And they're all led by M in this amazing pink dress.
Fantastic pink number. Angela Lansbury was hot, y'all. So she comes in and the dance hall girls try with varying success to try and grab one of the town's guys away from the Harvey Girls. And like, I think one or two get them, but the majority don't. And so they start trying like, the madam is like, okay, let's get back to the waltz, and Trent comes over to M and takes her hand and they do a waltz together. And so Susan goes to, I think, the guy who runs the Harvey restaurant. I think that was him, the manager.
Is that okay? Yeah, it wasn't Heartsy.
No, it wasn't Heartsy. I think it was the manager who runs it, goes to him. And so then we have these two waltzes going, and Em and Trent have this conversation of her just being like, man, we used to settle our differences with like guns in the streets. I guess now we're dancing. Civilization truly has come to town. And but honestly, they don't mix at all. After that ends, Em and Trent and the judge are just like, this party isn't for us. We're going back to the saloon, to Alejandro or whatever it's called. And everyone... Alhambra.
Just...
and everyone come and join us, and no one moves. Everyone
stays
at the Harvey restaurant.
Yeah, and the madam makes a comment about, like, this is the tide turning on society here. Susan, however, feels guilty, and so she goes to the valley in her white dress
later that night,
and she beats Trent to like the lookout spot. And he comes up and she asks him like, hey, did you lose something? And he goes, I lost the fight. And he tells her that it has been decided that the Alhambra is going to leave Sandrock. It's going to go to Flagstaff, where it'll have a better chance. It's a newer town. And she asks him like, well, what do you expect me to say? And the tension, you could cut it like a knife.
Oh, they almost kiss so many times.
They're mad at each other, but they love each other. They leave with like a tense goodbye, just like, we're too different to be together.
And she has this really great point, which is, for us to stay where we are and be together, one of us would have to fully give up something, and then it would be an unequal relationship, and that is not a way to go into a relationship. Either I would have to fully give up what I believe in with the Harvey house, or you would have to fully give up with the saloon. And in a big there's a place for us energy, it's like, well, is there a place that we can ever be together? And they're like, no. So he gets up and picks off a flower and gives it to her.
He throws a flower at her. He's just like, goodbye.
Take it away!
But she doesn't want him to leave.
I know. I was so not into this man. His smile threw me off. It was too wide.
Oh, I think I watched it on a small enough screen that it didn't bother me.
It felt like he could unhinge his jaw with how wide his smile was. And I think that's partially why I put him in Swindler category, because his smile felt sinister to me.
I can see him having a sneaky smile, however, I did not get that vibe. Particularly with what's going to happen next. Trent pulls up to the Alhambra, and he looks across the street, and he sees a torch. Someone walking around with a lit torch inside the Harvey restaurant. And he walks inside like, what the fuck is going on? And he sees Marty first lighting the curtains on fire. He goes up and he tries to like knock the torch out of Marty's hand, but Judge is there behind him and holds him at gunpoint.
Well, so first off, what happens is because this was the dumbest fight thing I've ever seen, and so I have to talk about it.
Okay, talk about it.
So, Marty's lighting the shit on fire. Trent comes up behind him and grabs the gun out of his holster and holds him at gunpoint. And then the judge speaks, so he gets distracted, and Marty just fully knees him in the hand, just like pulls up his knee, boinks his hand, it falls over and lands in front of the judge, so the judge picks him up and holds him at gunpoint. It was the stupidest thing. Like, it was throw the gun out the window so it hits the Eiffel Tower. It was so silly.
like, what is a gun gonna do against a lit torch at close proximity,
Honestly,
my dude?
guns are ranged weapons. Like, step back.
Don't bring a gun to a fire.
Don't bring a
torch
gun
fight.
to a chair fight. We know this.
We know how this works. Anyway, Trent is now in hot water.
Yeah.
The restaurant goes up in flames behind them. There was so much fire. I want to know what the safety situation was on this film.
Was the 50s, so probably not great.
Probably not. But in terms of just like stunt doubles and fire safety, but the Harvey house fully goes up in flames. All the girls escape. They get out. They try to help put out the fire.
There's a big
drag-on
fight, like, out into the street.
Yeah, through the fire.
Yeah.
No, hang on. We get a lot of shots of them just, like, punching 2-on-1.
Yep.
It, like, through flames. And then we cut to outside where we see all the Harvey girls outside, like, what's going on? And the 3 fighting men just, like, crash through a window on the side of
So
the
good.
house.
You gotta go through a window or it doesn't count.
But then Susan shows up in town, completely not helpful.
Yeah.
Sees the house and restaurant burning down.
And the whole town tries to stop the fire. Like, everyone's like grabbing water and pumping.
Including the showgirls. The showgirls try to help.
Water. I mean, a fire in a town that's made of wood is dangerous for everyone. Like, gotta stop this.
Yeah,
Now,
that's what I That's what I had to remind myself.
Yeah.
But cut to the following day, the Harvey house employees are like picking through the smoking wreckage, and because it's the next day and the Alhambra is moving to Flagstaff, the Harvey girls have fully just taken over the saloon.
Yeah.
They paint over the name and they are setting up shop there. So they have their customers eating and drinking coffee in the saloon.
Yeah. They've taken
as
out all
the
gambling
showgirls
tables and put
are
in
packing
coffee
up and
tables.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And M sits down with whom I assume to be Gold Dust.
Yes.
And Susan is bopping around, like, doing her job, like, trying to stay positive. And she sees Trent walk in and sit with them. And she learns through a conversation he has with M that he's also getting on the train to Flagstaff, which means he decided not to stay.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be together. He's gonna go to Flagstaff. And Susan processes this when she leaves. Cut to the train. M in this amazing green outfit with black and white feathers. The feathers.
The feathers.
And Trent walks with her to the train.
Yeah.
And then he can't get on it.
Yeah. Is she like, it's like, why are you even staying here? And he acknowledges he's not entirely sure, but he just can't get on. And he offers her money and he's like, distribute this amongst all the girls. And she thanks him for nothing, which is very much her vibe. And he laughs a bit, knowing that this is who she is, and steps off and waves her goodbye. And she poses on the back with her grandmama, it's me, Anastasia pose of just like letting the
train
boa
leaves Sandrock,
like fall down on her arms, and then she goes inside the train. So fantastic. God, I love her.
So M goes into the train and she sees
Gold Dust,
Goldfinger, whatever his name is, and she tells him that Trent's not coming, and he gets really excited because then they can like be together.
Well, because she said that she kicked him to the curb, and he's like, "Great, my only competition is now
we can be together."
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She did say she kicked him to the curb.
Yeah.
She goes, "All right, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go give the girls something," meaning she's gonna go distribute the money.
Yeah.
And so she walks through the train car, but she stops because she sees Susan
on the
train
with nothing
looking out the window,
but her outfit on. And I'm like, this girl. And then this is my biggest gripe. This
scene?
Yeah. So in this scene, M is like, what the hell are you doing here? And Susan is like, I will go wherever he goes. I feel like I owe you an apology. I feel like I was very judgmental of you. We're basically in the same profession, just with different outfits on. And I mean, I might as well just give it a try. And she starts crying. And Emma's like, are you saying that you want to be a showgirl or a dance hall girl? And she's like, well, that's what he wants me to be, isn't it? Never once in this entire goddamn movie did he say, hey, you should work for me. Hey, you should come and be over here. Never once. And so I was so confused as to where this fucking came from. And it pissed me off And I get the thing of, like, I want to follow him in terms of, like, a trope, but the whole thing of, like, well, this is what he wants, isn't it? I'm like, in any of the conversations that y'all have had, where has he said that this is what he wants? That makes zero sense to me.
When we rewrite the book for this and we bring it to Broadway, what I would change this to be...
all of the movies that we've seen, I love that this is the one that we're committing to.
This is the one I want to bring to Broadway. Here's what I think was happening. Based on the conversation they had in the desert of how if one of us stays, one of us has to give something up. The whole that's what he wants is Susan saying, I don't know what I will do when I get to Flagstaff. And if I don't have any other immediate options, maybe I'll find a job in the saloon. And she says and maybe it's just serving, maybe it's not performing, but it's I'll do what I have to do so that we can be together.
Yeah.
And it's just worded poorly in the script.
Yeah, it's worded like this is what he wanted the whole time, and so she's changing everything to do this.
Yeah, she's compromising everything.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Then
M
becomes a girl's girl.
Yeah. Pulls the stop button on the train.
The emergency brake.
The emergency brake on this whole ass train, and it stops, and she's like, you're getting off this fucking train, grabs her by the arm, yoinks her to the back of the train. She's like, I'm not leaving, I want to be with him. She's like, yeah, he's not on the fucking train, and points, and then coming up on a goddamn horse is fucking Trent. And so Susan looks back and it's like, thank you so much, and gets off of the train, and this followed by my gripe is immediately one of my giggles, which is M watching Susan book it towards Trent, fully fall, face plant into the dirt, just as he arrives, and he falls off his horse and immediately face plants next to her.
I loved it so much.
It was so funny.
I want to know if it's in the script or not. Just Em in all her, like, beautiful outfits, just, like, watching these two
dumbasses just
run through the desert.
face planting next to each other. And I kind of just I wanted a moment of her, back to her, of just either just rolling her eyes and going back in the train, or just being like, they fucking deserve each other, and going back. Like, I just needed a quick moment of her being like, these fuckers, like, god damn it, and just going back in the train.
But they get off the dirt, they embrace, they kiss, mash their faces together in the desert, and it fades into the same pose in a wedding. They get married in the desert,
and I'm
surrounded by the Harvey Girls and the members of the town. With
Deborah and the piano guy.
Terry.
Yeah.
Deborah and Terry. But it was unclear, and then they didn't walk down the aisle, so I wasn't sure.
Well, they're not top
Only
billing, so.
Susan and Trent walked down the aisle. To a reprise of In the Valley Where the Sun Goes Down.
Yeah,
and that's the end of this film.
Guys. Wow.
my face hurt. Boy.
Yeah. Anna.
Grace.
What did you think of this movie?
I really enjoyed this. Yeah. Am I going to say, like, this is the best film I've ever seen? Did it break my brain and all of my hearts? No. But I enjoyed it more than I expected to. I definitely have gripes. And, like, as we've discussed, like, we'll do the rewrites in the Broadway transfer. But not knowing anything about this, I was just a little nervous. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. Did I, like, laugh out loud a lot? No, but the songs were melodic. And I found the story compelling enough. Because I've definitely gotten bored in some of our other ones.
Yeah, it's still not my favorite. I mean, honestly, it's so wild how much I loved The Pirate. Because I watched this just being like, ugh, I miss Gene. Where's Gene with his short shorts?
Those are some short shorts, Gene.
I did enjoy this. Like I said, I didn't have as much fun as I did during The Pirate, but I had a good time. And it's also because I feel like if I had liked the main love interest more,
if you would liked his smile more.
I found his smile to be very, very creepy. So, and because of that, I was kind of less invested, but M made up for a lot of that. I thought that she had a big internal life. I thought she was interesting, and kind of like without her, I would not have liked this movie probably at all, but I thought that
does
her
have a
dynamic
big mouth.
between the three of them, it's just too wide.
It's a little
it looks like it
froggy.
could unhinge and swallow you whole.
It's a little wide.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
But you know what? He's still handsome.
But that's just... No, he's a handsome guy. That's the thing. He also had, like, the Clark Gable mustache, which is not my favorite mustache.
What is your favorite mustache? Is it Gene Kelly from The Pirate?
Did he even have a mustache in that? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, so...
Oh, he very much did. He had a great mustache in that.
Fantastic.
Great,
That's
like
my
little
favorite
little
mustache, is
handlebar.
Gene Kelly and The Pirate.
In The Pirate.
Anyway, yeah, so I did have a good time, but it wasn't my favorite, mostly because I was so kind of off-put by the romantic lead.
That's fair. He did have a wide mouth. It didn't bother me as much, but I also watched it on a smaller screen.
Yeah.
Let's do some dramaturgy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Dramaturgy report. Dramaturgy report.
Now.
Okay. Good news is we have seen both this director and cinematographer already, and we will see them again. But this was directed
many
by
times.
George Sidney, who was an American film director and producer who primarily worked with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. We've seen him with Bye Bye Birdie. He would also do the 1964 Viva Las Vegas. He had a huge background in acting, stage directing, editing, and music. So he was responsible for a lot of the post-war big musicals of Hollywood, such as Annie Get Your Gun, Showboat, Kiss Me Kate, and then two that we haven't done yet, which are Jupiter's Darling and Pal Joey. I don't know about Jupiter's Darling, but I do know Pal Joey's on our list. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cinematographer was George Joseph Falsey. He worked on 162 films in his career. We've seen him already with Meet Me in St. Louis and $1 Million Mermaid, that film. And we will see him again with Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Nice.
Yes. That's it. That's all I'm going to do because we've done both of them.
Yeah, so the writing, this was based on a novel that was originally published in 1942, so it was a relatively quick turnaround in terms of turning this into a movie. The Harvey Girls by Samuel Hopkins Adams. But not the full script, but like the story for this screenplay was written by Eleanor Griffin, who worked in Hollywood for a long fucking time, 1904 to 1995, like...
Wow.
90 years. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's how long she was alive. I'm wrong. But she worked in Hollywood for a long time. I'm so dumb. I'm so sorry. That was probably one of the dumbest things that I've done in a very long time. I apologize profusely.
It's okay. It's okay.
She worked there from the time she was born to the time she died.
He was alive until he died.
Until he died. But she was best known for co-writing the film Boys Town, which she won an Oscar for in 1938. And she wrote over 20 different Hollywood films between 37 and 64. But the script itself was taken from her story creation and was written by Edmund Belloin, who we have seen before because he wrote A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. A bunch of other stuff too, All the Nine Nights work, My Favorite Spy, Great Lover, Road to Rio, so we will absolutely see him again. Now, the screenplay was originally conceived as a vehicle for Lana Turner, but after seeing Oklahoma, they decided that it should be reworked. It was supposed to be like this big dramatic thing, but after Oklahoma came out, they were like, whoa, we need a Western musical. So they got Judy Garland in this.
Everyone's got a Western musical. It's the hottest thing.
Everyone needs one of those. Yeah.
The Titanic has sunk.
Now, so Judy originally wanted to work with Fred Astaire on Yolanda and the Thief, which was directed by Vince Minnelli, but she was convinced that the part in there was not large enough for her, and she was promised that the Harvey Girls would a specific showcase for her talents.
And I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was all about her. The music and lyrics, so the music was by Harry Warren. It was an American composer and the first major American songwriter to write primarily for film. He was nominated for Academy Award for Best Original Song 11 times and won 3 times, one of which for this movie, for the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe. He wrote the music. We will absolutely be seeing him again for the film musical 42nd Street. And he has written more than 800 songs over a career that spanned 60 years, including At Last, Chattanooga Choo Choo, There'll Never Be Another You, and That's Amore. So, yeah. So Warren was one of America's most prolific film composers, and his songs have been featured in over 300 films.
Wow.
The lyricist, John Mercer, co-founded Capitol Records with Buddy DeSilva.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He was best known as a Tin Pan Alley lyricist, but he also composed music and was a popular singer as well, who recorded his own songs. Some of his best hits were Moon River, Day of Wine and Roses, Autumn Leaves, and Hooray for Hollywood. He wrote the lyrics for more than 1,500 songs, including compositions for both movies and Broadway, and received 19 Oscar nominations and won 4.
Wow.
Wild. Yeah, so these two were very well-known,
Power
very
duo.
prolific people. Yeah, absolutely. For actors and casting, there were like a few other people they were looking at, but it was mostly Judy Garland. So what I'm going to go into is Ray Bolger, because we haven't really touched on him before, and he was Maul, our sort of foppish goon.
Our foppish,
but
our B-plot.
Yeah, but he is quite a famous performer in his own right. So he was an American actor, dancer, singer, and vaudevillian stage performer, and started his movie career in the silent film, and was one of the actors that was able to move from silent film to talkies. He was a major Broadway performer in the 1930s, best known for his role in The Wizard of Oz as the Scarecrow.
As I did not know.
Also, and also in the 1961 version of Babes in Toyland as Barnaby the villain. Not the one that we did.
Okay.
No. At first I saw that and it was like, oh, he was Barnaby in Babes in Toyland, and I was like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't, because we went into Barnaby because he was like 22 when he did that role. Yeah. But, so he was also the host of the Ray Bolger Show on TV from 1953 to 1955. So he started in vaudeville, which you can very much tell by his, like his energy is very vaudevillian. He began his career in a vaudeville tap show with his dance partner. And in 1926, he danced at the Palace Theater, the premier vaudeville theater of the United States at that time. And his sort of improv within the dance community led him to many leading roles on Broadway in the 30s. After starring in the Richard Rodgers' first stage production of On Your Toes, in which he played the male lead, he ended up signing his first contract with MGM in 1936. And he also appeared in The Great Ziegfeld, in Sweethearts, in Rosalie in 1937. Now, his contract stipulated that he would play any part the studio chose, so really he had no choice in the roles that he was given. And he was originally cast as the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
Had already been... Yeah, just a brief reminder, we've already done Wizard of Oz, but the role had been assigned to Buddy Ebsen. But then the casting ended up being shuffled around, and he ended up playing the Scarecrow. Following The Wizard of Oz, he moved to RKO Pictures, and he was a featured act at the Paramount Theater, working with the Harry James Band. Again, most of the tapping routines. In 1946, he returned to MGM to do the featured role in The Harvey Girls, and he also recorded a children's album that year as well, featuring the story of a misfit fowl. Yeah. Adorable. He did a lot of Broadway as well. Life Begins at 8:40, On Your Toes, By Jupiter, All American. He won the Tony Award for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical, and he ended up moving into television with The Ray Bolger Show, and had a bunch of smaller cameos throughout the 60s and 70s. In his later years, he danced in a Dr. Pepper television commercial, and in 1985, he and Liza Minnelli starred in That's Dancing, a film written by Jack Haley Jr., the son of Jack Haley, who portrayed the Tin Woodman in The Wizard of Oz. So that's like a whole family unit right there.
Yeah.
So the son of the Tin Man wrote a movie that the daughter of of Dorothy and the original Scarecrow both starred in.
Right. That's a bit of a mind, like, labyrinth. I love that.
Yeah, so he had a prolific career. Any time that an actor sort of starts in the movie era of like vaudeville and then is able to not only move into silent pictures but then also move into talkies and then into television is truly something commendable. Like he was quite an impressive figure and a delight to watch.
Yeah. I didn't like his character very much, but I could tell he was talented, and so I was like, I wish the character was different and I had more of something else. Because I like this actor.
I wish he and Marty had gotten together. Yeah, absolutely. Understood.
Oh, God. In the Broadway production. All right. Shall we do some reviews, reception, and release?
Yeah.
So, in terms of reviews, this got good reviews. This was a big box office hit. The New York Herald said it was a great, big, animated postcard. Judy Garland is a star. It's a perfect demonstration of what Hollywood can do with its vast resources when it wants to be showy.
Yeah.
New York Daily News said it was a nostalgic whiff of the Old West. As I said before, it was a big box office hit. It had a budget of 2.9 and it made just under 5.2. That is domestically and internationally. And then it won an Academy Award for Best Original Song for Harry Warren and Johnny Mercer for On the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe.
Yes.
Should we
talk about singing and dancing?
Singing and dancing. So in terms of singing, for once, I feel like a couple films recently, when we go to singing and dancing, we've only really had one or two characters to review. And for this one, Judy Garland is still very much the star singer. But we did get more ensemble singing.
We had full ensemble numbers. It was great. I miss ensemble numbers.
Yeah. Some of them were more Rex Harrison-y than others, but
Oh yeah.
we got ensemble numbers.
Well, and as we mentioned as well, there were a few people that were dubbed over. Angela Lansbury, Wild, dubbed by Virginia Reese, and then Sid Charisse
who sounded
as well
great,
was dubbed.
But I was just, it's Angela Lansbury. But anyway.
Lansbury. It's Mrs. Lovett. How fucking dare you? And also Sid Charisse was dubbed by Marion, I don't know how to pronounce this last name, Joanges?
I don't have it up, so I can't help you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I can't help you. We did. I had a note very early on where I was like, not only do we have a male chorus, but we have like a mostly male ensemble for the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe until all the women got off the train.
Until all the women came out. Yeah.
I love a male chorus.
I love a male chorus. It's a good time. I enjoyed the singing. There was no one that stuck out to me as like, oh, this doesn't quite work. Did Trent ever sing? I can't remember.
No, he never did.
I didn't think so. I wonder if he's a singer.
And
or not.
neither
He
did
died
Judge.
Quite young, that actor.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing him, but there's very little about him because he unfortunately passed when he was 41.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
Yeah, Judge didn't sing. Did Maul sing?
He danced.
It's not what I'm asking.
I don't think so.
And then in terms of dancing, we had a nice little bit of dancing. We had some ensemble dancing.
Chunk of dancing.
We didn't have a dance battle, but yeah.
We didn't have a prostitute dance battle, which truly
You know what?
upsetting. But we had a dance at the gym energy, so that was fun.
We'll get a prostitute dance battle in the Broadway production. If I have anything to say about it.
If I have any, come hell or high water, this is the hill I will die on.
Listen, Judy Garland, I don't think of as like, she's like an ensemble dancer. She doesn't frequently have, except for The Pirate when she like
big
had
solos.
Had the whole like Mac the Black song. But she did
But even
hold
that
her
wasn't
own.
like a full
No.
dance sequence.
But she held her own with Maul when they waltzed.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I thought was nice.
Yeah, my gripe I've already talked about, which is, like, he literally never said that he wanted her to be a saloon girl, and she's, like, there on the train, sobbing, being like, this is what he wants, right? And I'm like, no.
Ma'am,
what?
never.
No.
My gripe... Okay, I might cut this if I have to. My gripe...
Okay.
This film is not about, like, there's no main Native American characters. There's no indigenous characters in this film. They never speak, they never have names. There are a couple clearly ensemble actors dressed as, or cast, like, as Native Americans. And this film never discusses them, never addresses them, but when they were seen in ensemble scenes, they were directed to perform very like stereotypical Native American gestures and just like 50s Hollywood ideas of how a Native American person would act and behave.
It's
and
almost
I really
like this is a Hollywood movie in the 50s.
Yeah, listen, okay? I know that, unfortunately. So that's why I wasn't even sure if I wanted to like do that as a gripe, because like it's such a small part of this film. It does not it's not even in it enough to move the plot forward or take me out of it.
No.
But I did see it, and I was you are right. It is a film from Hollywood in the 50s. In the 46, I think. Yeah. I didn't expect any different, but it was still disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, this is always the struggle of watching older movies through the lens of someone in the life that we now live in.
Yeah,
you know?
No, it is. It is. So I guess what I want to say is I recognize that it's not good.
Saw it, clocked.
Yes, and that it was a film from 1946. What about giggles?
Oh my god, these two dumb chuckle fucks falling on their faces right at the very end. I laughed out loud.
Yes to that. I really enjoyed the brawl of the women.
All of the women brawl, the stick 'em up, the panicked stick 'em up in getting the meat back.
I just the moment
there were some very funny moments.
There were some moments that were so funny, particularly because I just did not see them coming. It's very easy to fall into tropes in big budget musicals because they're safe, and there were plot shifts and changes and character decisions that took me by surprise, and I thus greatly enjoyed.
Yes.
My moment of joy is the stick 'em up, give me my steak back, but particularly Trent's face when she delivers the raw steak to him.
I think my moment of joy, honestly, the first conversation that Hartley and Susan have of just both of them desperately trying to figure out how to get out of this marriage in the nicest way possible. And it's just so silly and whole,some. And Hartley deserved, like, I wish that we had gotten more into Hartley and him being into the madam and their story. Like, I would have loved if that was the B plot of just him courting this madam as she's trying to open this restaurant.
Yeah, she's also a waiter.
Yeah,
plagued, inconvenienced by musical theater.
And I have exactly one fun fact.
I have two fun facts. So what are either of yours about The Pursuit of Happiness or Flagstaff?
Nope, mine's about Angela Lansbury.
Okay, I'll do one of mine first, which is Judy Garland's character has a quote in the beginning when she is talking to the Harvey Girls on the train about why she decided to go out west. And she goes, the Constitution guarantees the pursuit of happiness. However, it's in the Declaration of Independence. It is not in the Constitution. The Declaration of Independence includes the phrase, among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's not the Constitution.
There was one fact check moment where I did have to double check, where in the song, the Atchison Topeka and the Santa Fe, where she references feeling like Alice. And I was like, what? This is based in the 1890s.
Yeah, was Alice in Wonderland
written? Alice in Wonderland? And that was 1865. So it would have been out for about 30 years.
Yeah. Okay.
But I know I had to double check because I was like, when was that?
You know what they didn't fact check? The Constitution.
Nothing has ever been more American.
I will defend your right to this to the death. Could I tell you the document it comes from? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
That is Western law.
My fun fact is this is Angela Lansbury's first time playing an American.
It's not her first film role, though, right?
No, it's not her first film role. She's been in show. This was her fourth film role, I believe. In her 3 previous ones, she had been English, and obviously she is
understandable.
British. But this is her first time playing an American. Her accent was great. I didn't even notice.
It was a little funny in one scene, but it went by really quickly.
And I think also because of sort of the movie star accent anyway,
Yes,
of like the
yeah.
Mid-Atlantic, that it helped British actors transition, because Mid-Atlantic is very much sort of like a midway point between what we would consider sort of like a classic British and an American.
Yeah. I love that. My other note is there are several references to Flagstaff as like the town further down the line. They refer to it as a mining town. Flagstaff has never had mines. It is a lumber town. Additionally, the scenery in the film of like agave plants and saguaro cactuses is very common for like southern New Mexico and Arizona. However, the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe line ran through northern New Mexico and Arizona through very different scenery. So, like, I think the valleys were accurate, but, like, particularly for the beginning of, like, the flat desert.
The background,
And here's the thing. When we had those moving shots of clearly actors on stationary trains with, like, a background moving behind them, I was wondering, I was like... I wonder if that was like stock footage that they already had, or if they had gotten
honestly
with a $2.5 million budget, they could have more than that, 2.9. They could have sent some second unit team out to the right part of Arizona and New Mexico.
Just like got on a train and just filmed out the door. Like.
Yeah. All right, that is it for me. Do you have any homework?
I do not. Is there any part of this movie that you would be like, this is fun?
My first impulse was say watch the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe scene because it's the most famous. It was on the radio. It won the Oscar.
But it wasn't my favorite.
No, and that's why I think they must have had a radio edit. And that's it for me. I don't have any homework, but I enjoyed this film.
Yeah, I can't.
And I think I rented it for like $2 on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon had a sale. It was like $150.
If that's all she
Maybe
wrote.
the stick 'em up scene, like it was just there's a couple of scenes that were very, very silly, but I don't know if I'd be able to find just that scene, because I couldn't find just the costumes for the pirate.
I loved the costumes.
Great.
Okay, I'll say homework.
Costumes?
Do a little research about
into the Harvey
Girls. Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't had real homework in a while.
Yeah, y'all getting lazy.
Cool.
Okay,
Brad.
that might be all she wrote.
I think that's all she wrote.
All right, well, if you are still with us, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of 5678, a movie musical podcast. I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Take care of yourselves and others. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.